Hey Diddley, thanks for joining me. I'm Angie K. I'm your Wellness to Weight Loss. Hey, thanks for joining me. If it's your first time joining me, tell me where you're from and tell me who you are, what your real name is. I'm Angie K. I'm a weight loss to wellness strategist. Hey Narita, nice for joining. Thanks for joining me, girl. Thanks for joining me. I'm Angie K. I'm your weight loss to wellness strategist. I am also, Tampa in the house. Thanks, Felicia. Nice to meet you. I'm reigning from Hotlanta. That's where I'm coming from. So, I'm your weight loss to wellness strategist. I help busy women finally get healthy and not to go with all the gimmicks and the products and all those things. So if you know of a woman that can use this, please, share it. Today, I'm going to cover the number one way to actually stick to your weight loss plan, stick to your guns once you've actually decided. Much love to the kiddos. I love little boys. I have a son, he's 8, and he's been asking me every day, can we Periscope? Can we Periscope? Can we Periscope? Can we Periscope? So, I'm going to put him on at some point, but not today. Today, I'm going to go ahead and cover one of the main ways that you can actually get on your weight loss plan or get on your exercise regimen and actually stick to it. All right. So if you look, you'll see I've got a bunch of these little guys right here. These are what we're going to talk about today. These guys, this is my favorite one. These guys are what we're going to talk about today. And so when I was on my weight loss journey, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story because I rarely share my story and I don't know why, but I'm a mom of 1, and during my pregnancy, I picked up about 80 pounds. So I was about 120 pounds and I tipped the scale right at about 200 pounds, and I'm only about 5'4". And so right as I started to get some of that weight off, I probably lost about 20, 30 of the pounds. I decided to go back to medical school as a non-traditional student. And when I got done with medical school, I had packed on another 30 pounds. And so once I got done with that, I was completely devastated. I had the degree that I wanted. I had the pay that I wanted. I had the lifestyle that I wanted. But my health was not up to par. I had not done well by my body. I had not done what felt good to me truly. And so I decided to go on a journey to get the weight off. And I finally found what worked for me. But someone introduced something to me that was absolutely life-changing. And I'm going to tell you guys about that now. You put on 60 pounds, girl. And this is the thing about that, Narita. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, when we put on that kind of weight, you know, like this is why I never criticize people that say, well, I only want to lose 10 pounds, or I only want to lose 15 pounds, or I only want to lose 5 pounds. Some people look at that and they scoff and they say, well, what are you complaining about? You know, I never say that because it really does come down to how that person feels in their body. If they feel like that extra 10 pounds is a lot more weight to carry when you've got to run a mile. 10 pounds is a lot more weight to carry when you've got to run a mile. And so, or when you've got to do anything, it's just more weight on the frame of your body. Thanks for joining us, Rose Spinks. But so I don't criticize people when they say it's just a little bit that they have to lose, or it's a lot that they have to lose. Everybody's journey is unique and everyone's body is unique, and it truly is what makes us all beautiful. Hey, Sharice, Jack, thanks for joining us. Sharice is my stylist. You guys, get with Sharice. I'm not looking the greatest today, but get with Sharice because all those wonderful photos you see of me, Sharice styled me head to toe. Sharice styled me. She's an amazing at her craft. If you're not following her, follow her. So getting back to my story, someone introduced something to me that was very, very profound. And once I incorporated that in my life, not only was I able to be more honest with myself and hold myself accountable, but I was able to actually stick to my goals. I wasn't worried about what anybody was going to say. I wasn't too much concerned about, oh, this goal of 80 pounds to lose is just insurmountable. You know, I didn't look at it like that. And so I showed you guys previously, but I'm going to show you again, these guys right here. These guys right here. Okay, that one says be brilliant. I don't know if you can see that, but this is actually my favorite one. These are journals. These are journals. And I'm going to go through a strategic way that you journal in a manner or in a way that will allow you to really, really manifest some amazing, amazing things in your life. This particular one is all about my business. So any types of ideas that I get after meditation or immediately when I wake up in the morning, this Be Brilliant journal is on my bedside. So there's designs in here for apps. There's different things in here for classrooms I want to launch. All types of different ideas are in this journal. And so that's what that one is for. This one is one of my favorite too. This is my infamous food journal. And this one has been with me for a while. I got one that could kind of stand the test of time, but this is a food journal. And I'm going to tell you guys how to journal in a way that you're writing down things that are truly strategic and things that are real for you, and things that are your own truth, and that you're able to actually act on them. And some of them take very little action. The fact that you wrote it down makes it real for you. And so I'm not going to go and write in my business journal, oh, I want to make $1 million in 30 days. That's not real to me. I want to be a millionaire. Yes, I do. I want to save lives too, which is what I do on a regular basis. But the financial goals in here, the business goals in here, they are real for me. They are real for me. So, and they have a real time attached to them. They're not something that I'm just kind of spitting out. And so it's the same thing when it comes to your health. It's the same thing when it comes to your marriage. And I had to learn that the hard way. But it really is the same thing. It's the same concept. When you write things down, always date them. And if you feel like putting the time on them, for a while I put the time on mine because I noticed a pattern with the times that I was waking up, the times that I was getting my highest or best ideas. And I started to set an alarm for those times. And when I set an alarm for those times, I really was able to tap into the universe and download some really, really life-changing ideas, and really, really get into who I was and what my voice is. And so it's the same thing with your food journaling. Yes, you see the numbers daily. They mean something. I dare you to set an alarm for that time, AM and PM, wake up and be ready to write. That is what I say. When you start seeing a pattern of numbers like that, like for probably a year straight, my birthday is July 11th, 7/11. And for a year straight, I saw this number day and night, day and night. I didn't know what it meant. But when someone finally explained it to me, it really was something very profound. And so I'm just a health and weight loss strategist, and I am going to explain to you how to food journal, the basics of food journaling, and how you can use it to basically stick to your journey and not feel like you're falling off, you're starting over, and not feeling like you've got to do any of that stuff. So the first thing you need to do is get a journal. Get a journal. So you don't have to get a fancy one like this one. It buttons, it snaps, it's gold pages inside. It's pretty nice. I was serious about my journal, so my journey. So I found a really, really nice one. And so I decided to keep that one for my food journal. And so that's the first thing you want to do. Find a good journal. Depending on where you're located in the States, you can go to Marshall's, TJ Maxx. Sometimes, Ross. Ross has them for cheap. Very nice journals. Hallmark, stores if you want to get a little bit fancy. But you can go to the dollar store. I have tons of journals from the dollar store when I started to really take certain things out of certain journals, because journaling really is a tool that can be used for some powerful manifestations. And if you were to split your journals up, one for financing, or one for your finances, one for your marriage, your love, your relationships, one for your health, your wellness, one for your spiritual journey. Like, really split your journals up so that you can really, when you sit to write in them, you really hone in on what it is you need financially, what it is you need in your marriage, what it is you need in your health. And so journaling is very, very powerful. And so for food journaling, what you want to do, there's a few things that you want to capture. And so once you've chosen your journal, it's very important that you date your entries. Mm-hmm. So date your entries, and when you write down things, make sure you write down the time, what you ate, and make a couple of columns. One for how you feel an hour after you've eaten something. One for how you feel, 3 to 4 hours after you eat something. And one for how you feel immediately after you eat something. And make sure you include your liquids. Don't skimp on what you ate. Don't lie about what you ate, because it's your journal, right? Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to see it. It's your journal. So when you write down everything you've eaten for that day, write down how you felt. Write down how you felt. And then after you've written down how you felt, at the end of the day, you should have a nice running tally of everything you've eaten. And you should have a tally of how you felt. Now, what's going to happen is if you do this for about a week, give it a week's time, track everything you ate, you're going to notice that your body responds differently to certain types of foods. You're going to find out that your body responds differently when, say, you eat white potatoes with a meal versus a sweet potato with a meal. Try it with both and see how you feel. You're going to notice that when you eat small amounts for breakfast, you feel completely different from when you eat a larger amount for breakfast. So make sure that these things are being captured. Once everything's been captured in your journal, you're going to go down and you're going to keep a nice page, a nice clean page, and you're going to jot down all the things that made you actually feel good, where you didn't have any issues after you ate it. You didn't feel gassy. You didn't feel bloated. You didn't feel nauseous. You didn't have reflux. You didn't feel sleepy, because that's another sign that something's really not good for your body. When you eat, you should get a second wind. You shouldn't be the one that feels full and bloated and tired right after you eat. This is very important, because your body's letting you know, I don't like that. I did not like that. So something in what you ate needs to change. The same thing with gas, with belching, with bloating, with your stomach hurting, with diarrhea right afterwards. So your body gives you these signs all the time. Your body gives you these signs all the time when you eat. It's just up to us to pay attention and, yes, listen to your body. Listen to your body. And this is so profound, because I literally base my business off of this, helping people find what works for them. And this is the first thing that I teach. There's so much more that goes into it. The science behind food pairing, what times you're supposed to eat certain things that you should never eat together. So there's a lot more that goes into this, but the very basic way to find what works for you, because you don't want to diet. You don't want to always be on a diet. That's not sustainable. You can't always be on a product. That's not sustainable. So why not find out what your body loves, track those things, and then make a running shopping list for those things. And so that's what you do. After you've listed everything that your body loves and that works for you, guess what? You got a standing shopping list for your house. So you're only going to fill your house with things that are not only going to nourish your body, but that when you eat them, you're actually going to get a second wind. And that really is what you're looking for. So start today. Go out and get you a journal. Find one that you like, whether it's basic one like this one, something like this one. I really love this journal. I fell in love with this. And then this journal, which was a spiritual one, with the rings. And of course, it flips all the way around when you open it. Or this big guy. This is my newest one for my spiritual journey. It's a pretty thick journal. But these are my favorite ones. And I travel with these too. I take them everywhere I go, because I like to journal. And my journey didn't become real to me until I started writing things down. My ability even to be sitting here, being able to do a Periscope with you guys without being completely terrified, that wasn't real for me until I wrote it down. So the things that I'm realizing in my business, the things that you're going to see me featured on, the things that I'm going to be doing, collaborating with certain people, the things that are coming down the pipeline, I would never have been able to do those things if they weren't written in here. Every single one of them is written in here, and they have a date attached to them when I ask for them. And it's no different from something that you want for your body, something that you want for your marriage, something that you want for your family, for your finances, for your education. It really is no different. So write it down. Get in the habit of being serious enough to say, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do for my body. And I'm going to designate a special place to write everything down so that I have it with me. And no matter where I am, I'm able to pull it out, get something. If you know you don't have a big purse, you might need a smaller one like this one, but get something that you can write on, and always have a pen with you so that you can write. Always have a pen with you. Now, there's several different apps that will allow you to track this as well. But for me, I think using a pen and writing it down, it's kind of the difference between you getting a book on a Kindle and actually having one in your hand. So it really does depend on what feels good to you. I like to be able to write things down. I like to be able to actually go back, reread, look at things, and be very, very clear on what I want, the image of my body that I want, what I want people to see when they look at me. All of those things were written right here. If I want to take captivating pictures that get engagement, that thing was written right in here. The size that I want to be, 36, 25, 36, 24, 36, whatever you want it to be, write it in here. And it makes it very, very real for you. And it doesn't matter where you are right now in your health journey. It doesn't matter if you've got, 5-10 pounds to lose, or if you've got 110 pounds to lose. It doesn't matter. All that matters is how you feel about it and how you make that journey real for you. So I'm Angie K, and for those of you who will catch the replay, we are talking about the number one way to stick to your journey, to stick to your guns, to finally get on track and stay there. And that number one way is finding a place to designate everything, writing everything down, and being able to track it and track how you feel after you eat things. And that's the number one way that people are able to actually stick to their journeys. You can write your exercise down in here, your water consumption. Definitely write down any beverages that you're drinking. I personally don't drink calories, not even alcohol. I just don't. That's the quickest way to kind of add a lot of sugar to your diet without even knowing. So even that one thing, I've had clients cut the calories that they drink, and they're able to lose 5-10 pounds in a week, because they're drinking significant amounts of calories in, whether it's a glass of juice every morning, or whether it's juice throughout the day, coffee with creamer. Cutting the calories that you get in liquids is another big way to really drop your weight, especially if you're someone who's on sodas. But that's a whole different periscope. I can talk to you about transitioning off of sodas in a way that you'll look up and never knew you even drank them. So that's the end. Thanks for sticking in with me, you guys. And I hope this helped you guys. Goodbye.